Good evening once again, students, and welcome to today's session. Today we shall be continuing from where we left off the other time, and we promise that this session will be something about Python loops. So today, our focus will be on what? Loops. So at the end of this session, we should be in a better position to understand Python loops and then how to use it. But then, as usual, we always have our objectives. And for that matter, let me bring my cheat sheet so that we understand what we're supposed to do for today. So this is our today's objective. And it says, by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to, one, understand Python loops. It means that we should be able to understand what is really a loop, whether in Python or in any programming language. And then the number two objective is understand the types of what? Python loops. How many types of loops does Python have? And then we should also be able, which is the third objective, to demonstrate Python loops in practical base, because for programming languages or program language, you can't just learn it theoretical base only. You have to put your hands dirty so that you can feel the reality. So now, what is a loop? Loop simple means illustrating through something couple of times, going through something until a condition is what is met. For instance, if I have 10 numbers, if I want to generate at least 10 numbers, then I should be able to come out with a program that will loop through 1 up to 10 until it gets to the last figure where it will break and then go out of the loop. So that is all about what? Python loops. Now, our second objective is now to understand the different types of Python loops. And generally, we have two types of Python loops. So, and I had this documentation from W3 School, so you can check there for more details. Now, they are saying that Python has two primitive loop commands, which is the while loops and then the for loop. Now, with the while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as the condition is true. So they are saying that the command that we are going to execute, it will continue to execute whatever code we write until the condition is true. Then it will then break and then go out of the loop. Then the for loop, which is the second type of Python loop, is the process of looping over a sequence. And here, the sequence they are talking about is lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, or strings. And we learned this type of ideas back at when we were learning data collections. So that's why I designed the program in such a way that we learn a particular concept before we move to the other, so that when we are using a previous concept to demonstrate something, you people will be in a better position to understand the concept better. So when we are talking about lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets or strings, it is no more something new to you. So we shall be using this kind of keywords, which we learned previously on other topics, then to understand for loop. Now, let's then bring our IDE, which is our patcher, so that we can get our hand dirty. Nowadays, I'm making the videos so very short so that people can watch it without having problem with their internet. So we're just going to demonstrate how things works, and then we'll pick it up there. So, and by now you should be able to create a folder and then create a file inside that folder. We have been doing it, and if you are not following, you can check our previous videos so that you will be able to create a folder, and inside that folder you can create a file. Now let's look at while loop. Assuming I want to print a set of 5 numbers from 1 to 5. So in real situation, I'll take a pen and then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in programming, you can write a simple code that will automatically generate these 5 numbers without you typically typing it all over all the time. So we are going to use the while loop to see how we can generate or execute a command that will print out at least the number of codes we want it to execute for us. So for instance, let's look at assuming, so let's set a number. So a number, and we all know that this is a variable. That number is a variable. So let's set our number to 0. So we are setting our number to 0. Now, immediately you set your number to 0, the next thing you need to bring is the keyword, which is the while. Now, while number, which is our variable, while number is less than 5. While number is less than 5. Then immediately after this 5, you have to bring your colon. That's the colon. So that it will automatically indent your code for you. And you can see the pipe has indented. So you can print what? Number. So if we run this code, we are not going to get as expected. But then immediately after the print, we want, when it takes it will check first and see is the number it is going to print less than 5. If it is less than 5, then it will then print the first number. And then it will check again, is the second number less than 5 till it gets to what? 5. So for us to do the increment of that, then we have to bring this key function, and which is number plus equal sign, then 1. So it means that we always want it to increment number by what? By 1. So first, it will check and see, while number is less than 5. Is this number less than 5? Yes. So if it is less than 5, print 1 for us. Then it will check it again. Is the number less than 5? If it is the second number is less than 5, then it print the second number till it gets to where the number is no more less than 5. Then it then goes out of the loop. So this is just how you can write a simple word while loop. And you need to know this thing because when we get to the intermediate aspect of it, we are going to be combining this kind of codes into our program so that it can work the way we want it to work. So these basics are very important. But then let's print our code and see. So as you guys can see, it has printed out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4. So, but then the total is 5 numbers. Let me just make it big. So you guys can see it has printed out because first we set our number to what? 0. So it's check. Is the number 0 less than 5? Yes. If it is less than 5, then it should print out what? 0. Then it checks again and see, is the number less than 5? Then the number is less than 5, then it prints out what? 1. Up to where the number is no more less than what? 5. But if we want the 5 to be inclusive, then you either make it 6 or bring the what? The equal, less than or equal to what? 5, which is very important. So this one, If we do it this way, that is the appropriate way, because we've learned all these what logical operators. So if we then print this code, then we are going to get 0 up to 5, because we said less than or equal to 5. So let's run our code once again. And you can see that it has printed out from 0 up to 5. Assuming you don't want 0 to be inclusive, then you can eliminate the 0 here and put 1. So when you run the code once again, you are going to get 1 up to 5. So it's just a matter of you understanding the concept, and then you'll be good to go. And then the simple logic is you set whatever you want to print to your initial value. Then when you set it to the initial value, then you bring the keyword, which is the var. Then immediately after the keyword, you then bring your variable. And immediately after this variable, then you set your condition, whatever you want it, whether you want it to be equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Then after you bring the keyword, which is the print, and then your variable, which will generate the outcome. And then you then bring the incremental aspect of it, which will increment whatever you are looping through. So this is the whole idea about while loop. But then assuming you are printing up to 5, but you want to break at a certain point, maybe I want to break at 3, then I can just bring the keyword break. So with this keyword, if you are breaking, then you have to break at a certain point. So how can you then implement the break? So for instance, we can say for if number is equal to 3. So if number is equal to 3, then we want it to break. So immediately the number, so now it will no more generate from 1 up to 5, because we are setting another condition, which is if number is equal to 3, it should break and go out of the loop. So when we print this code, you can see that we are now having 1, 2, and 3, because we break out of the 3. When the condition is 3, then it means that it has been met, and for that matter, the code should break. So there is a lot of flexibility that you can do when it comes to Python loops. Now, this is the whole idea about while loop. The most important thing is bring the keyword, which is the while, and then the variable you have set it to, then you then put on your condition, and you are good to go. Now, let's now turn our attention to for loop, which is our second objective. Now, we've learned sets, dictionaries, tuples, and other stuff. So assuming, and I want us to look at for loop in a practical way. Assuming you want to see how the mobile money system works, MTN mobile money system. So we can use a dictionary. For instance, let's say Momo. So our variable is Momo. So we are setting Momo to. So our first number, we are setting the first number to transfer money. Transfer money. Then, comma. So, and if you have been following our course, you know what we are doing. This is a dictionary. So inside our dictionary, we have our key and then our variable. The key is the one here, and then the variable is what? The transfer money. So that's our first dictionary, that item we have put in our in our dictionary. Now, 2, we want to transfer money, then check our balance. Check what? Balance. to check our balance. Then 3, we can also change our pin. Change what? Change pin. So you have a lot of what? Parameters that you want to set. So let's just leave it as 3. So now, assuming we want this thing, this item to be printed out in the form of Momo, assuming you have done *170#, then it will print out if 1 is what? Transfer money, 2 is what? Check balance, and then 3 is what? Change your pin. So in real situation, this is one way you can use Python to set that what? Parameters. So we can say that for, and that's a keyword, for, and our I is what? Key. We said in this now we have key and what? Value. So K stands for key, but you can use any symbol at all you want. But then I'm using the K for key, and then comma, V for what? Our value. So for K, comma, V, in, and this is very important, the in is an inbuilt keyword. So in what? In Momo dot item. So this dot item is also a built-in function that will then print out our what? Our keys alongside our what? Our values. Then immediately after the parentheses, you bring your what? Your column. And then we can then print our what? Our Momo. So let's print. So what are we printing? We are printing the key and then the what? The value. Key, comma, then value. Now let's run our code and see what we are going to get down here. So let me run it. Guys, you can see that's interesting. It will return 1 is what? Transfer money, 2 is check balance, and 3 is what? Change pin. So whatever we are teaching you, we want you to think logically, think out of the box, and use it in what? In everyday what? Life. This is how we can use Python for loop to generate something like mobile money system. And this is how it works in real life situation. So this is when we get to the practical aspect, performing projects, these are some of the things we'll be doing, and then you'll get to understand the power of what? Programming. So as you can see, we have 1, which is what? Transfer money, 2, check balance, 3, then change pin. So the user will then select. So we can even customize it in such a way that first we can say print, then we can say welcome to MTN Momo system. MTN Momo system. So now, after saying it, then we can also print a line that will separate it. And to do that, you just bring any line at all you want. Now, when we run this code, first, it is going to generate welcome to MTN Momo system. And then there will be a line of this nature. And then it will then, we then ask the user to enter his choice, print again. So we're just using the keyword, which is print. Now print, please enter your option. So please enter your what? Your option. So when we run this thing, then we are going to get a very nice presentation of our code. And you can see, guys, welcome to MTMO system. And then there's a what? A line that separates the welcome to MTMO system to what the user is expected to do. Then the user will then read, please enter your what? Your option. And if you want, so if you want one, you then press one. If you want two, you press two. If you want three, you press three. But then this is how you can use the power of what? For loop to generate both the what? The keys and then the values. So this is one aspect of using what? For loop. And real situation, they may not, most of the book will not expose you to this. They'll just say, okay, for instance, if we have number, let's use number is equal to, so maybe let's just use a set 1 2 3 4 5. Then you can say for num in number, for num in number, then print what? Num. So when we run this, then it will then display the 1 2 3 4 5 for us, just like the what? The while loop. So let's check our code down here. And guys, you can see it has printed out 1 2 3 4 5. So what we have just done look like something similar to the what? To the while loop when we were learning the while loop. So if you want to print 5 numbers, this is the way you have to do it. You just set the numbers, your variables, and then you bring the condition, and then you then print. So explore more about it, and then our next session we shall be learning what? Functions. And as soon as we get done with functions, then I'll then introduce you to career paths in which you start to specialize your interest area, and you'll be good to go. You can start building systems from that aspect. So I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in our next meeting. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon.